Treasure and Nintendo once again joined forces to bring us Sin and Punishment 2, Successor to the Sky for the Nintendo Wii. The sequel to the N64 cult hit has returned and blown the original out of the water. For those not in the know, this game is essentially a third-person rail shooter, in which two players can play. You can control either Issa or Kachi, male and female characters, Issa being the son of Saki and Eren from the first game. The game can be played with the Wiimote and the Nunchuck, the Classic Controller as well as the Classic Controller Pro. It can be played with the GameCube controller and the Wii Zapper. I personally prefer the Classic Controller to play, but you can play however you'd like, of course. Although the game is an on-rail shooter, you can control your character's movement independently. You can shoot, you can fire a charge shot, as well as use a melee attack when enemies are too close to you. You can hit them, knock them away. You can also jump, you can fly, and you can dodge roll, which you will need to do often. The game lets you select your control options, so you can button map any control setup you'd like for any of the control options that you choose to play with. The difficulty ranges from easy to normal to hard. The game has excellent graphics with lots of enemies on screen and no noticeable slowdown of any kind, which is amazing. While playing, when there was a lot of shit on screen, I did notice a slight bit of slowdown, but it wasn't even worth complaining about because it was so short and hardly noticeable. The controls feel great, and you can adjust the speed of your crosshair to your liking. You can make it faster if you want to, or you can make it slower. Slower is kind of obnoxious, so you might want to put it on a faster setting. You'll have to learn to dodge and dodge often. Enemies will come at you from all angles, and bullets, lasers, flames, and all sorts of other shit will attack you from all directions. So you best practice dodging and rolling on easy before taking on the other difficulties. That's essential. This game, on the harder difficulties and later stages, it can be compared to any bullet hell shooter out there. There is a score multiplier which goes up when enemies or scenery are destroyed. The multiplier can go all the way up to 16, which can be tough to achieve, as each time you take a hit, it causes the multiplier to decrease a bit. So you gotta be careful. After completing a stage, you can submit your score via Nintendo Wi-Fi connection to see how your score stacks up against others across the globe on the leaderboards. Look for my fucking score. It's like kick ass in this game. I won't spoil too much of the game, so I won't show off the ending or the final boss fights, but I will say that the final boss fight in this game, when played on hard mode, is one of the toughest boss fights I've ever endured in any game ever. It's so fucking challenging. Now the bosses, for the most part, are huge, wonderfully detailed, and they can be quite difficult. The voice acting and the story are good, not great, but good. The music is awesome. There's lots of tracks that set the mood of the stages perfectly and really gets you into the game. I gotta say, I love the graphics, love the controls, but most importantly, I love the challenging gameplay. Now, the game isn't perfect, but I only have one problem with it. My only problem with the game is the two-player mode. Player 1 has complete control over their character in both moving and shooting. Now, for Player 2, you just get another crosshair on screen without a character being there. In a way, it's kinda like Player 2 is playing a light gun game without the worry or fear of being hit. So I suppose you can use that to kinda cheat your way through the game or whatever. But it kinda sucks, but it's not really a big deal. Putting, that minor gripe aside, the game itself overall is superb, and I believe it's truly an asset to the Wii's library of games. But again, that's just my opinion. The game is currently exclusive to Japan, but it's been reported that it's getting a release in North America and Europe during the first quarter of 2010. So definitely be on the lookout for Sin and Punishment 2, Successor to the Sky. It's easily one of the best Wii games out right now, and it's leaps and bounds superior to the original. Until next time, this is Koru. Take care, everybody.
Game over, yeah!